Afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? Hope all doing well. Did really well out the DAX this morning. Had some very good trades this morning on the DAX. All trades worked out. That one, which was a short, got a break even on. And then had these this morning, which all closed in profit, straight up into that zone that I identified from earlier. So good morning on the DAX. Very happy with the morning, and managed to bank as well $1,600 on my Apex futures account as well, which is good. So profitable morning. Afternoon, David, Diamond, Burke. So this thing this morning, I've literally just been taking trades like that on the ES and the Nasdaq. It's very satisfying seeing where the big boys are and just jumping in as soon as they edge their positions. It's quite remarkable, but it's only one day. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Trading the NAS this afternoon. FX wise, Euro Swiss I got stopped out on this morning. Had my stop up at 125 ADR. So I got stopped out on two of these positions this morning. I had four on. So I took two off, left two on, and I've just taken a third position short here. We got a reversal alert and a retest, but I wanted to see it break this potential resistance, turn support, which it has done. So I entered another position as we just came down and broke below these lows as well. We're just pulling back at the minute. So you see I'm not far away from my average, so if we can get an ADR drop on this afternoon, that'd be very nice. This is Bookmap. I'll go through this in a sec, David. I covered this yesterday, but it's just a new piece of software I'm trialing. ADRs today, all clustered around the euro. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar hit this morning off the back of the New Zealand dollar. Was it New Zealand dollar? No, it was New Zealand dollar news. So we can ignore that one. That was the CPI on the New Zealand dollar. It's undone that move. The euro, basically, we had some news released. Well, it's not news released this morning about the rate hike in July. The market, for some reason, decided to pump the euro on that news, although it's not news. So we've had a big push up. All ADRs hit on the euros, straight up to 100 ADR, 125 euro CAD, 125 euro Swiss, 150 euro pound, euro yen, 100, euro New Zealand 100 as well, and euro US dollar 125. So all had reversal alerts off the highs and coming back down again. So I don't think these are legitimate moves on these euros. So all good shorting opportunities. There's nothing on the hourly RSIs. The 4-hour RSIs are pretty much the same as they were this morning. We've got the euros extended to the upside, so euro pound, euro Swiss, all extended on the 4-hour RSIs. Just starting to come down now. Euro pound, euro Swiss is we've had some bearish price action obviously after the push up, which just took me out at 125, but we've put in that new lower high. So hopefully what's kind of that one there, we'll get a continuation to the downside now that it's decided to take me out with two of my positions. So I'm gonna let these other three run, basically pay for those other two. But apart from that, nothing much different to this morning. Some of the yens have gone kind of sideways, which is obviously bringing the RSI extensions down. But obviously these are all still very, 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 very extended to the upside. So yen's still not doing anything with those at the minute. I'm just giving them a wide berth until they decide to start some kind of pullback or drop. Indices this morning, big push. DAX, as you can see, traded that all the way up to the potential resistance, which it's rejecting out of at the moment. Don't really want to see it go much higher than this. This is 3 up days, and not just 3 up days, 3 up days with gaps as well. So this is a proper move from DAX to the upside. I'm looking for it to be a pullback on this down move, in which case then this is where we really are last chance saloon on it. 61.8, 71.9 retracement. I wouldn't want it to see it go any higher than this. We didn't quite tap those highs, but we got pretty close. So I'm looking potentially for a drop this afternoon on the DAX. So I drew that hourly block in from these lows that were held as support all the way back up to that high, which is where we are at the minute. So looking for a short potentially on that one this afternoon. The US indices as well this morning have had a very good morning again. So very nice push up on the Nasdaq. Huge move on the S&P again. And the Dow has basically now pushed out and made a new high. So the Dow market structure, market's just opened. We just heard that. So market's open. Yeah, big strong push out of these highs. So market structure's now officially shifted back to a long. So looking for this 35,857 area for potential resistance, but this could well just sweep and drop from here. So very, very difficult, as I said this morning, very difficult to tell what we're doing with these indices at the moment. They're having a little push at the moment, apart from the Nasdaq, obviously, with the Netflix report yesterday. Hi, Mayo. So yeah, tricky. But basically, as we've had such a big, strong move in the morning, I'll be looking this afternoon for some negative price action on these. So we'll see where they push up to. Obviously going crazy guns at the minute. Bank just over 3% this morning. So I'm probably not going to have a long session today. As it's been a pretty profitable morning so far, so I don't want to give it all back. Everything's going great guns at the open. Nasdaq especially, massive 5-minute candle going on the Nas. Where is all that coming from? They're buying back Netflix cheap, aren't they? That's what they're doing there. No, they're not actually. Not interested in Netflix. They're buying everything but Netflix. Not interested in Netflix. Wow, big rush. Okay, we'll let this calm down. Jeez. Okay, so we basically have smashed straight through all of those limit orders, not stopping whatsoever. Next stop on the Nasdaq is around about the 14,380 level. Which is miles away. Wow, what is going on? Okay. I think we'll let this 5-minute candle settle down. Still got a minute left on this. That's a mental move at the open. All done the same thing. The Dow, S&P, and the Nas all gone totally crazy at the open. That is the biggest opening range candle I've seen. I think I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen a 5-minute opening range candle that big. We're talking a 100-point move at the open. I have no idea why that is moving so fast. Normally I trade the Nas at the US session. I am trading the Nas. This is the Nas. When you can measure the M5 opening range as a percentage of ADR, it's a big open. Yeah. That's I'm not sure I even want to trade this today. Do you want to hit the long button on this? I've no idea what to do with this. I'm just going to buy one contract in the Nasdaq. Sorry. No, I'm not. Look like I want to go. Burke, but yes, but I can't see any position. I haven't taken any positions yet. That's why you can't see any. I'm not trying to jump in that thing. I don't normally trade. I think what you mean is I've got an open position at the open. I don't normally trade with a position before the open. I wait for the open and then I trade after the open. Sometimes, occasionally, I will take a trade and hope. I mean, basically, if you take a trade at the open, if you take a trade 1 minute before the open, you're gambling, basically. You're gambling 50-50 shot as to whether or not it goes your direction or not. Anyone can do that. But I will do that sometimes if I've got a bias, which I think is going to go at the open. This morning I didn't because we've had such a big, strong push. I didn't want to jump in just for the sake of it being a push. Well, okay, I'm going short one on the Nas. I'm just going short on my futures account. Buyers are still coming in at the minute. I've just got a feeling we're going to fade. We're going to fade this opening move. This is too much. We just tapped straight into resistance up there as well. Adding one more short. Yeah, that's the reason I took that short. The S&P and the Dow have both just retraced that initial 5-minute open. So I'm shorting the Nasdaq. I'm doing it on my futures account. Wherever you short it, it doesn't matter. I'm just closing one. No, I'm not. Just wait for these ticks to stop. Okay. Closing one. Closing the other one out. So it's 1940. That was hectic. We've got some buyers coming in. The S&P just started to retrace. The reason I got out of that trade then was the S&P's just started retracing back up again, and the Nas is not dropping. I don't really want to trade this. I would say this is a short. I'll just turn the DAX off. So there's a load of sellers sitting up there at 14,300, 14,290 area. We've got another batch of sellers that have just come in. So as we've broken down, there's another batch of limit orders sitting there ready for us to pop up into for another short. So potentially this is a short, but all the sellers at the moment are just getting battered back by the buyers. There's a lot of buying pressure. It's a very odd move that was. ECB, the Eurozone, they just announced that there's going to be a 75 basis point move in the rates by the end of the year, as opposed to a 70 basis point forecast earlier. So they're just forecasting an extra 0.5 rate hike. I doubt that was anything to do with that. I'm pretty sure, though, the euro probably had a little pop off the back of it. Oh no, it didn't. See, this is the thing. This is the thing about news, yeah. That we didn't pay any attention to. Can't go back any further. A bit further down here, wasn't it? This morning, the red one, the other red one. That one, we went mental on it. Yeah, just because this one was released as the market was ready to dump a load of orders. That last news item that was just released, the market's dumped all its orders, so it's got nothing more to push in the euro. So that's it. They're sitting there now going, oh. All about timing. Not sure. I'm not sure if it's going to have the legs to get up there. I'm going to stick a limit order up there with everybody else. See if we can get triggered on it. Still a lot of buying coming in. What's the betting we go into a accumulation for the next hour? Up there. It's done it, isn't it? That's it. It's done its move. Okay, sellers are starting to come in now. Just putting a sell stop in place up here. Still a load of money sitting up there ready to short. Big order just come in there. See how much buying, yeah? So this is indicative. Tons and tons of buyers entered there. They all got absorbed and slammed down. Yeah. So this is really good. It's a visual. It's basically just a visual indication of what is going on in the auction. So there's some guy sitting here with an absolute ton of contracts short. The buyers came in, massive bubble where there's tons and tons and tons of buying volume. And he just sat there and went, yep, I'll have that lot, please. Boom. All those sellers got absorbed and just puked, basically. They went, no, we can't get through. And they shut their orders, became sellers, which pushes price down. So let's see if I can get another run up into that area. Load of buy orders just sat there. I'm just going to cancel that sell because I'm not going to get back up there. Short one. Looking for this to basically come down and retest down here. Right by Forex. Froze up then. There's a lot of selling coming in, but we're not getting anywhere. Everyone's still selling the hell out of Netflix. This is what they call an iceberg order. So think Titanic. You hit that, you're in trouble. You're not getting through. Basically, it's just an order so big that the market will just not be able to get through it. You won't be able to absorb enough of that to crack through it. So this is where we see these peaks starting to form in the market profile. When you get large areas of absorption, which means a load of volume goes through in one area. And obviously that's a rejection. So on the way down, we've got VWAP coming up, which is the volume weighted average price for the day. To potentially stop us. but there's nothing below much, so should be a good short. DAX is just making new session low, or trying to. Oh, sorry, no, there's a wick there. I can't see that wick on my other because I've got the colours wrong. Let me just change that. There we go. So yeah, no, it's not making new session low. It's got miles to go. Closing that 0.2. Long wicks. Okay, so we've got a big volume block sitting here. It's going to take a lot of buyers to crack that. I'm going to pop a limit order up in the downside of that to see if we can get him. Short one. So that block there, buyers used all their power to push up into that block, and you saw the size of that there. That expanded and expanded and expanded and expanded as it absorbed all those orders. So by the time it had absorbed all the sellers' orders, there were no buyers left. So the sellers just stepped in and pushed it back down again. So now the buyers are trying to take another run up, just constantly trying to take a run up at all this liquidity sitting there on the sell side. Can't get through it. All the buyers eventually, with all these positions, would just puke, close their orders, and become sellers. As soon as they become sellers, price will obviously push down faster, harder, and the sell should start. But You don't know how many buyers there are. So we're watching this area here. No, it's gone. Closing that. There's another $800. Did I not just have a sell order in there? I could have sworn I just put a sell stop on. Did I not? Maybe not. So this is the previous low from 10 minutes or so ago, which we're just finding some buyers at. A lot less sellers sitting up here now. That block that was sort of that sort of size is now, you can see it's there. That was the size of it where we got in. Now there's a lot less, but there is still a lot sitting up there. Just approaching VWAP. See, there's a load of people coming in down at VWAP. A lot of people play the VWAP bounce. So being a lot of people looking to buy the bounce off of VWAP. We have bounced off of VWAP a couple of times today already. Let's go back. So we've bounced. You see, I bought up there, sold there. We've bounced multiple times off of VWAP already. But I've got a feeling this is probably not going to hold this time. But we'll see. There's a load of buyers coming in, as you can see. So just popping back down to the 20. Don't go without me. I just put a limit order in just below VWAP, just sitting on top of this big block. I'm not sure that we're going to, I think we're probably going to crack this, but we'll probably get a bounce before we do, which is all I'm playing, just a quick bounce off of VWAP. Doesn't look like it's going to let me in though. There you go, in long. So just watching this block up here. I'm out. Just heard that coming in short. Shouldn't have taken that off, but so we just hit that block there. Now we're going. Now the buyers are coming in. Now I've just exited that. Just worried about just taking a run at this and just slamming straight through this area. If it slams through this area, it's really going to come down fast. There's a lot of buyers sitting down here though. See, we're just chewing away at this. God, I really wish I'd have had that short on. I'm sure I put a short on there. Maybe I didn't. Yes, I did. I had a trailing stop set from previously on my DAX trades. I had a really tight trailing stop set. Yeah, look, it moved down 150, retraced, it stopped me out. That's my stop out there. So it entered me and stopped me out on a trailing stop. That's why. What an idiot. If you're using EAs, they're only as good as the person in control of the EA. Lesson learned there. So just hovering around VWAP, volume weighted average price, area of potential value to buy at. Gutted. 43 pip move, missed it. So going to keep an eye on what happens when we get down here. S&P is just basically in a range at the moment. The Dow has just popped back up to those highs and is starting to come back down again as well. DAX just still hovering around a minute. So nothing much really gone anywhere yet. We've just literally had a opening cash rally and then pop back down. The error occurred between the keyboard and the chair. Yes. That is where most programming errors tend to occur. That was annoying, but never mind. Okay, so we've got some buyers starting to trickle in. So we're just testing, just retesting these this area down here. So loads of buyers, and that's basically a double bottom. We've got this big block up here which we're probably heading up to. I was just going to say I might try a quick long. Went a bit quick there. Going long one. Whoa. Closing that. I was looking for us basically just to push back up and retest that high. Nasdaq's a bit quick. I might switch over to the S&P. S&P's a lot slower. The trouble with the Nas is you can get in and out very, very quick, and you can rack up a lot of profit and loss very, very quick as well. Euro Swiss is just pushed back down. I've just run into support. This is a large order. You see this little white line here? That means that basically that is one order in the market. So it's a very big player sitting there looking at this area for a long. Obviously this is on VWAP. So someone's sitting long on the VWAP there. There's a big order up there as well. So I would suggest that that is probably the other side of that guy's order. Or vice versa, if that's a limit order short. Nasdaq's just coming back down into the chop now, so we're approaching the lows of the day. S&P's pushing down. So completely undone that entire move in 20 minutes. So back to square one. Okay, so this is the previous low of the session down here. So there's quite a lot of orders sitting around there. Although I'm not sure I want to get in the way of this thing at the moment. Trying to limit order on the highs there, just in front of that big order. Well, that's not appearing on there. Okay, so we're below VWAP now. So quite often you'll get a retest of VWAP. Buyers starting to trickle in. So we're sitting at the opening range, basically again, retesting this area. So I just placed a limit order up at that high. Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's unlikely that's a stop hunt because you'd struggle putting a stop down there anywhere on that candle because this thing moves so fast. What would happen if anybody that went long there, if they're putting a stop down there, they're using such a small position size because of the size of that candle. I doubt there's a lot of liquidity. Well, you can see there's not a lot of liquidity down there. I can show you the liquidity. Yeah. There's no liquidity down there. And this is the beauty of this software. Yeah, we can see the stops. You can see where everything is. And obviously don't forget, institutions don't use stops, physical stops. This is why we need to watch and see what comes into the market. They will have stop levels. The algorithms will have stop levels set, but the stop levels won't be orders sitting in the market a lot of the time, but they will then start to appear. Yeah, we're seeing the orders are starting to appear now, but they're not placed back then. Limit orders that are placed in the market and stay in the market for a long period of time, these are people looking to enter the market rather than exit. Next batch of sellers starting to come in. So here, this is a batch of limit orders I'm sitting on top of. Obviously, they're not necessarily going to hold. All depends if there's more sellers than buyers. But if by the time the sellers get down here, they've run out of sellers, we'll get a bounce. And that's all I'm playing, is the bounces off of these levels. Scalps. So just breaking through these lows on the Nasdaq. $14,100. A lot of people sitting on the round number. So it's probably a good sell down to 14,100, and that's that level we looked at yesterday. And we kept seeing, you know, 14,100 and the 14,000 level. We're revisiting this level so much at the moment. There's a lot of people sitting down there waiting for longs. Nice big move. I'm just watching this 4,500 level. There's quite a few orders building up. My CPU screams when there's volatility in the market. Good natural indicator. Yeah. Bruno has a built-in volatility indicator. You need a bigger machine. Mine's quiet as a mouse, my new machine. It's got like a million fans in it, so, and a water-cooled CPU. Big block order just come in there. Okay, long one. Oh, got brackets on. Damn. I stopped out on that. I had bracket orders turned on. Didn't realise. It's probably not a bad thing. But I was going to add a second position down here. Just watching. Okay. Going long one. Just waiting for this selling to be absorbed. And we should get a little pop. Oh, bear with me 1 sec. I've just got to grab the door. 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm back. Okay, so that block that was sitting there for ages held. When I've been watching this, something I've noticed is when you've got a block of orders, limit orders sitting in the market, which is followed by another block of limit orders, they're quite often good to get into. So I got into it on that block. I knew I had a backup. So if you think about it, it's like this doesn't hold, that probably will, because the sellers have got to use up so much of their ammunition to slam through these limit orders. By the time they get here, they haven't got anything left. So you tend to get the bounce off of the second block. And now we've got a load of limit orders backing us up now as well. So looking to target that high. Or potentially VWAP. We'll see what happens when we get to VWAP. Much smaller stakes here because this is the S&P. Just going to put a... Just getting out of that one. I'm just thinking, my brain is just thinking Fibonacci. I saw a load of orders coming at the 50%. So I just exited that. Let me just close that order down. So double bottom bounce potential is in play here. There's not a lot happening, so we may well get another bite of the cherry down here. See how much selling activity comes in when we get down to this area. Is this all making sense to everybody? What this is showing you? I talk about it a lot when I'm trading. So hopefully this makes sense, because I've mentioned about absorption and how the market works many times before in the live room, but this is obviously a really nice visual representation of the auction happening in real time and how the algorithms work, where the algorithms are placing their orders. You know, we're looking at, literally you're looking at algorithmic orders being placed by the second here. This big block here, there's an algo sitting ready to bounce its order off of that level, probably up to there. So there's your double bottom, which I missed because I was zoomed in far too close. And obviously we're looking, you know, we're so programmed to look at candlesticks, yeah. What we're looking at here is, you know, this is what, 1526 going back to 1512. So this is 15 minutes of price action. This is 3 5-minute candlesticks, and what's actually happening inside of those 5-minute candlesticks. Yeah, we could go, you know, look at one 5-minute candlestick unfolding, what's going on within a candlestick. And I'm scalping within candlestick here. You know, I'm in and out within a candlestick based off of where I know these guys are going to start, hopefully, to move the market from. Obviously it doesn't always work that way, but seems like cheating. Yeah, well, it's not, it's just on a smaller scale. We're seeing this is micro level of this. Yeah, I mean, this is, all this is the same stuff. Yeah, look, you can see it really clearly here. Look. Yeah, these propulsion gaps. Yeah, we know there's orders there. We know there's orders there because the guys that came in after this accumulation here and started that move, we know they dumped a load of orders there. So we know they're going to try and add to their positions there. This is where the buyers are buying. So we know they're going to try and buy again there because they're buyers. So all of this area here, yeah, if you look at that area on Bookmap, you'll see a massive bar of red orders sitting there because these guys want to add into their positions and get out. So it's just, all it is a very, very, very detailed version of what we're usually doing anyway. But, you know, and you can see the candlesticks as well if you want to, not that. You know, but we're seeing what's going on inside of them, and we're seeing why. You know, why did we get a bullish engulfing there? That's why we got a bullish engulfing there. So what caused? We're looking at the cause rather than the effect. When you're trading candlesticks, you're looking at the effect the algorithms are having on the market. We're looking at the cause of that, which gives us an edge because we can see what's coming before it comes. Obviously, these levels do not hold all the time. One guy stands here with a 200 lot order short. He's going to slam through this. Yeah, there's only 400 lots, 300 lots there. Someone comes in with 300 lot order short, they're going to smash that to pieces. It's going to disappear. And my price is going to move down. Yeah, so these are not guaranteed levels. It's just another way of looking at what's going on behind the scenes, basically. Yeah, so what we're looking at here, in all likelihood, are people that entered in short here, looking to add into the positions that they've got here. Or it's people that are entering these positions down here and pushing price up, looking to exit. So if you've bought, you have to put a sell limit order to get out. If you've sold, that would be a sell limit order to add in, but these would be the buy limit orders to exit. So it's just... but you'll find a lot of this is probably retail. There's one big order in there. So out of that 212 or 200 odd contracts there, there's one order which is about 25 contracts. The rest of it is retail. On our chart, we see a shadow on the wall of the cave. You see the objects that are creating the shadows. Yeah. Good way of putting it. You're very vocal today with your analogies. I will find this toll for operate in Brazil market. Tool, sorry, yeah, for operate in Brazil market. There is a Brazilian version. Actually, there's a Brazilian version of the software, I think. You'll have to check on that with Bookmap if you want to have a look. But I think they have actually got a Brazilian version. I think it's something to do with the stock exchange over there, but I'm not 100% sure. Don't trade anything Brazilian. A lot of buyers coming in. You can hear. All getting absorbed up here at VWAP. I'm going to try one short off of VWAP. Can't take credit, it's Plato. I'm very uneducated when it comes to stuff like that. Could have been Del Trotter for all I know. So I'm just attempting a bounce off a VWAP. Still got a few buyers trickling in. So we've got some support building. Got more support building here. So we're now trapped in a battle. Difference of opinion. It's a bit like watching a computer game, isn't it? Doesn't it make trading much more fun? This is the S&P. So this is the ES, which is the S&P 500, and that NQ is the Nasdaq. So there's that big tranche of orders that suddenly got dumped into the market. There, we broke through that, then the load of limit orders came in, dumped it. We're pushing up. So broken back above VWAP now. Yeah, S&P futures. Short one more. So I'm just entering a second short to bring my average up. Out of this block. I'm going to try and exit down here. Differs quite a bit from the CFD numbers. Yeah, it will do. Yeah. CFD is a contract for differences, and CFDs tend to run 24/5 as well. The futures market obviously closes. Well, it doesn't close. It has the Globex session, but the CFDs are basically a contract for difference with your broker. So your broker is going to at some point offer the right price, but you're entering into a contract with your broker. This is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. This is the live futures market. So this is the proper job, if you like. So you're always going to get a little bit of a difference. I'm just watching what happens at this level to see if we absorb that level or not. I'm either going to get out or I'm going to get a run. Looks like I'm going to get it out. Getting out. Data latency spike detected. So just closed out. Now it's going to go. Thank you. Typical. So just got a little bounce off of that, but we absorbed it. Probably get a little bounce off of this one now. Heading back down to here. But I don't want to take a trade in the middle. So this is the area I was looking to sell in. This is the area I'm looking to buy in. I don't want to do anything in the middle. I want to be taking trades from extremes, mean reverting. And obviously trades from extremes will tend to run back to extremes. And obviously you want to be looking at the overall trend, which at the moment is more short than long since the open. So that's the open. See, we haven't actually gone anywhere since the open. We're basically back to origin. VWAP. So just basically stuck at the minute. Quite possibly going to be a rotation because of what we've done today. Because we've had this big, strong push again today. The market may well want to be another bull day and just come into a sort of rotation. What I was hoping for on the Nasdaq was a similar day to yesterday, where we try and hit the highs and reject, which we have done. So I'm more short bias on the Nasdaq, but I was actually expecting it to kind of do that at the open, which it obviously hasn't. So I'll be looking for short opportunities more than longs. See the speed that bounced then? Yeah. We came flying down. Yeah, we hit this block of orders. Huge sell, which all got absorbed, and then spring straight back off of it. And this is why the limit orders work so well. You hit your limit order there, and before you know it, you're in $300 worth of profit within seconds. Obviously, it can go the opposite way as well, but you usually will get a reaction here, because the market can't just steamroller these big orders. You know, they're all sitting there, and they are all going to get triggered. If there's not more sellers than there are buyers, it's going to bounce. Has to. So next big block is sitting down at the 14,100 on the Nasdaq. Again, a lot of people looking to buy up the lows. Okay, buying one. Do you see that tick? Yeah. As that ticked, that big green dot appeared. That tick, you can hear the ticks. Watch the ticks and listen to the dot. Listen, watch the ticks and listen to the dots. Listen to the ticks and watch the dots. I'll turn the volume up. Not on Netflix. Yes. Sod's law, everything's going to happen on Netflix now, isn't it? So you're watching this one. Just getting out of that one. Okay, see? Red dots, selling pressure. You're hearing it coming in and you're seeing it coming in. Was that Ferment? I've no idea what Ferment is. Don't know. Not sure. I'm going to have to Google that one. Ferment. They're temporarily closed, Ferment. They're a company in Watford. Oh no, that's Fermenter. Sorry. An ironmonger or an ironmonger's shop where articles for the house, such as garden tools and nails and building supplies. Are you sure you meant a Ferment? We're struggling down here. See this zone here, yeah, on the S&P? Yeah? That is what we're seeing here. That's what we're tapping into right now. Same thing. A lot of sellers coming in, all getting absorbed. And this is the advantage this gives you. You can see why they're getting absorbed. So if you're seeing the ES selling like crazy and you're not seeing a candlestick go down, this shows you why that might not be happening. Because there's a hell of a load of limit orders sitting here with big players looking to play this long again. Temporarily, obviously. These orders are only going to potentially do that, you know, within a 5-minute candle. So not long term potentially. Bookmap, Adrian, is that what Ferment is? Is Ferment Bookmap in a different language? I don't know what Ferment is. I've googled it and it's something to do with ironmongery. Just turning tick strike down because it's can drive you completely crazy. Load of sellers coming in. Netflix getting hammered again. So we've got a lot of selling coming in. This level's likely to get smashed. So we're looking for support down here. See that massive ball? Absorption. That is absorption happening in real time. The market is selling the hell out of it. And the buyers that are sitting here are just absorbing every single buyer that comes into the market. Buyers are about to go, nah, we can't get through. Oh no, they've made it. There you go. So that's the pop. Remember when I talk about the pop? Yeah, absorption, absorption, absorption. Buyers basically puke and then going, nah, we can't do it. Close the orders out, take a loss. Sellers slam through, and that's when you see that pop. Bang, pop through the level. Yeah, that's what I talk about when I talk about the pop. That is the pop happening in real time. The left small windows red and green. This is tick strike. So this is an audible version of buyer and seller volume in the market. So literally every time there is a tick over a certain number of contracts, this lights up and it shows you the strength of, or the size of the contracts being entered. It's not 11 contracts, it's a multiplier. It just gives you a gauge of 1 to 15 basically as to how strong the move is. So this is just an audible version of what's going on. Yeah. So one of the reasons I use tick strike is to monitor stocks. So I'm monitoring all the big stocks. Yeah. Which are all part of the Nasdaq. So if everything is selling at the same time, the Nasdaq is going to drop. Because these guys make up about 35% of all stocks in Nasdaq. Okay, taking a long on the S&P down here. This is all going to start to fade. The market can't sustain a selling rally for a massive amount of time, and we're also running into two big blocks of limit orders. Which will either get absorbed or will collapse. And if they collapse, obviously I will get out. If they don't collapse, we've got a good bounce. Obviously we want to watch that area, but we'll find a load of orders will come in. Well, they're starting to come in now, look, at that area, which is that low. Again, this is support and resistance at play on a very small scale. Here come the buyers. See them? Can you see them? Can you hear them? It's lovely, isn't it? Watching this level. Closing that out there. Another $100. The only reason I'm getting out fairly early is because that was a hell of a rally. You saw how much selling pressure came in there. There's a good chance those sellers are going to step back in very quickly because of the sheer volume that came in there. You can see the volume, very, very big amount of sell to slam. They needed it. You need massive volume to get through massive limit buy orders. Now they're coming in again, you see. Second run up. Think of it like a car crashing into a wall, then reversing and taking another run up. Eventually it's going to smash through that wall. The wall's going to fail. There you go. I should really be short this market, but it's so easy just to catch these bounces. It's just nice to do. Say it's so easy. It doesn't always go this easy, obviously. But Adrian, no, I was saying how good Bookmap looks. Yeah, just got to be patient with it. I'm very new to this at the moment, so I'm just obviously investigating whether or not it's helping. What I'm planning to do is have this running on one monitor. You can break these out as well, so you can break each of these out onto whoops, move that. You can break each of these out onto a separate window, and then obviously have your platform open for trading. You probably want to be on the 1 minute chart, and then just basically taking trades in here. If you don't want to trade the futures market, you want to trade CFDs, obviously you take the trades in here. Diamond, I get absorption, but why do we only hear the sellers and not the buyers absorbing them? This will show you the dominant. So this is to do with cumulative delta, which is this down here. So this is the overall strength of buyers and sellers at any point in time. So you will always get the dominant ones. So when you've got a massive selling rally on, you'll have cumulative delta short, and that is why you will see the sellers coming in, because there's more of them. Basically, it's just telling you there's a load of selling coming in, and the buyers are outnumbered by the sellers, so you will never get their volume coming through because they're quieter. So it's basically who's shouting the loudest at the moment. Think of it like a pit, and this is kind of what they liken Tick Strike to. Is it simulates the noise of a pit. When you're in a pit, you'll hear lulls, and then all of a sudden someone will start screaming, offering Facebook at a certain number, and then you'll have a load of other people offering Facebook at a different number. Then you'll have a load of buyers screaming and shouting to buy Facebook. This is just simulating sellers screaming they want to sell Facebook. In a minute, you'll get someone, when this is all calmed down, someone going, I want to buy Netflix. And then that will turn green, and that will be the person saying, I want to buy, I want to buy, I want to buy. And he'll keep offering his bid up and up and up until someone says, yeah, I'll sell it at that price. So this is just a simulation of the pit, which doesn't exist anymore, obviously, because 90% of the movement is algorithmic nowadays. There are no humans. So we're listening to the algorithm. We're listening to the algorithms talking to each other. Like a computer program, basically. Excuse me, is all new for me. My English is not very well. Good. I won't correct you too much. But I was learning for Visit Lee's trade prop one day. RSRS. I don't know what that means either. Have I compared Bookmap with Jigsaw? I've never heard of Jigsaw. I'd never heard of Bookmap, to be honest, until a few days ago. Well, a few weeks ago, actually. I started looking into it. Jigsaw, they sell clothing. Jigsaw 24? No. Jigsaw. Whoa. Well, that's a lot more expensive for a start. And it looks like if you want all the bells and whistles, it's going to cost you $2.5 grand. So, yeah. That's a lot more expensive. I'll have a look at that. But, yeah, I mean, that's way, way, way more expensive than Bookmap. Might be good, might be not, but I don't know. We've got a load of sellers, buyers propping up these lows. So you see here, this is what I mean about earlier when I was saying, if the first level fails and you've got a backup level sitting there, the second level will usually hold. So a good strategy to take when you get this situation occurring is to buy the first one, limit order on the second, and average in to get out. So take two positions. If it slams through, you need to get out of all of it, obviously. But you will very rarely not get a bounce. From what I've witnessed, I've just been watching and doing some replay stuff, because you've got a replay mode in this as well, which is really handy for watching. It's such a good bit of kit. I don't know why I've never found it before. But so yeah, when this situation occurs, you got the first bounce there, the second bounce failed, but that one held. And you literally want to be out fast at the next level. Like this one. There. And as soon as we entered, tons of buyers stepped in. So this is going long now. Yeah, the sellers are going to have a hard time. After smashing through that level, they're going to have a hard time cracking that, aren't they? Coming up to there, I would imagine. But we're looking at like 2 minutes of price action here. This is all happening within one 5-minute candle, all of this. Here come the buyers. And the other thing you'll find about this as well, just from what I've read, algorithms are these days, the algorithms that trade the financial markets these days have got there's a lot of machine learning in them. They are hyper intelligent, these quants. They know what to do. They adapt to what the market is doing. And you get a lot of what we call spoofing in the market, where you see a load of orders, and as we approach those orders, you see this is getting lighter and lighter. These orders are being pulled and moved back. So these are not real orders. These are not real intent to go short. These are orders which are in the market pretending they want to go short, and when you get close to them, they'll move the orders away and entice longs, basically. So these are guys basically they've entered here pretending they're going to get out there, so the market heads for it to try and grab that liquidity, and as it gets there, they go and they pull it away. It's like them, putting a $5 note on the floor and basically whipping it away with a piece of string as you go to pick it up. So these spoof orders, as you can see, they all vanished as we approached it. The algorithms can see this and they adapt to it. So when an algorithm sees a block like that entered into the market, it knows it's not really going to do very well if it starts to sell. So it starts to buy. And this encourages the algorithms to then repurchase and switch their direction. And this is why you see the market moving up and down so much, because the algorithms that are controlling it and controlling all the buying and the selling are basically just trying to find the best price all the time. And if they see something down there and they know if they start selling now, it's unlikely they're going to be able to get through it, they'll search for a better price. So they will adjust and reposition themselves, which is why these work so well. But you've got to be patient and wait for them. You might have to sit through this for 25 minutes waiting to get up there. And then when you get up there, that might just not work. We need to see what happens. How is this going to adjust when we get there? And you can see it all adjusting through time. Yeah, so you can see if you go back in time. Yeah, you can see how long that massive big red order was there. It was there all the time. Going back and back and back. They were there. They were not letting it get through 4,500 today. If we'd have come up and tested 4,500 today, which we didn't quite get to. There we go. We did get to it, didn't we? There. They were like, nope, you're not having it. So we slammed through it, and then they came back in and boom, pushed it back away again. For Jigsaw, 2,200 package is with all the education. The raw tool without the education is the cheapest one. That might be the case, but if you don't know what to do with this, it's useless. You need the education. You need to understand what all this is. Otherwise, it's no use, is it? You've got to understand basic market structure concepts, absorption, iceberg orders, limit order selling, algorithmic. You've got to understand what this thing is showing you. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And it'll be the same for Jigsaw, I'd imagine. You need the education bit. It's professional grade software. It's not something you can. It's like getting Adobe Photoshop without having ever done any digital art in your life and trying to draw the Mona Lisa. It's not going to happen. You don't know how to hold a brush. But I'll have a look at that Jigsaw one as well, and see what it's like. They do some free trading as well. There's lots of software out there. So we're just sitting down in this accumulation at the minute. So again, this is where all those orders are. So we're pushing back up into this propulsion gap, potentially for another leg down, or the buyers that bought here are going to step in and add to their orders and push it back up again. At the moment, it sounds like there's a lot of buying coming in. But this is $100 a month basically, plus data. But if you've got a funded account, like I've got a funded account with Apex, so I get market data for $10 a month. You can buy market data for $35 a month. So it's either $135 a month or $110 a month, depending on how you're getting your data. And obviously it doesn't work without data. It's got to be level 1 data as well. You've got to have depth of market. We got a bit quiet now. We've gone sideways. So 2,400 banked on Nasdaq, 275 on the S&P, and 3.1% on the other account. So all in all, fantastic day, considering I started the week with $2.5 grand loss. I think I prefer the S&P to the Nasdaq, to be honest, from a trading perspective. It's a bit easier to see where the orders are. So the Nasdaq, not really interested until we get down to this level. The S&P seems to be much more bouncy, and the levels appear faster. A lot of selling coming in at the moment. Slam straight through that. Getting a little bounce there. Just going to try a long. So big red dot. Absorption. Yeah. Massive amount of sellers coming in. Couldn't smash it. Same as happened there. Massive amount of sellers. Couldn't smash it. Massive amount of sellers. Couldn't smash it. They will get through it, but they couldn't do it on that attempt. So we bounce. Now we're coming back down again. Got in a bit late on that. I should have had a limit order down there really. But see if we can get back up to these highs. And I get out at the highs. There's no buyers coming in, so we're kind of floating at the minute. Closing. Some sellers starting to come in. And this is the beauty of these two tools together. I'm buying here because I've seen that absorption happen and likely we're going to get a bounce. This is then telling me whether or not I'm right. If we get selling starting to come in without going anywhere like we did there, I'm quite possibly going to be wrong, because the sellers basically have just taken a breather and now they're starting to slam. So it tells you to get out your positions as well. So this is very, very useful tick strike, because you can obviously see it visually here, but it's much, I prefer to hear it as well. I'm not going anywhere at the minute. It's 4 o'clock, 10 past 4. I'm going to call it a day there anyway. So if you like this, we'll carry on doing more of this. Obviously, I know it's not normal stuff. We haven't actually looked at the FX market, have we? I think I might do that once a day, to be honest, the FX analysis, because it doesn't. I'm looking at H4 levels on FX. So by the time we do the afternoon session, we're only kind of 6 hours after I've done the initial analysis. So we've only had 1 and a bit candles. So it's levels I'm looking for. So I'm looking for a bounce at specific levels. So if we go through all the FX pairs in the morning in the Frankfurt session and have a look at them all, we can look for areas where I'm looking for reversal alerts to try and get into positions. But I don't think we need to necessarily go through it again in the afternoon. You can always watch the morning replay if you're not around for the morning session. And we'll do the FX analysis in the morning along with the Frankfurt trades. Should have held on to that, but didn't really go anywhere. I got in a bit late. See, my entry was there. My exit was there. My entry should have been there. Limit orders, you really should be trying to get into these with limit orders so that you get in with the market. These guys are triggering their orders there. If their orders are going to hold, you want to be one of those orders, because that is enough to make $200. Easy. That is kind of halfway through the move. So you want to be getting in on the limit order there, limit order there. When it gets there, you're either going to get the bounce and you're going to get the profit, or you're not, and then you're going to have a second bite of the cherry, which will usually hold and give you that exit. And occasionally, obviously, you're going to get stopped out on them. There we go. So we're heading up to there now. It's interesting, no doubt, but it's a little frustrating since it's not something I can try myself. Well, if I could. Well, I could if I was willing to pay for it, yeah. It's the same as anything in life. Tools are very important. Have been since caveman times. If you haven't got the right tools for the job, it's very difficult. And the thing I like about this is there is nothing to do with time. Yeah, the difficulty everybody has with trading, and I cover this in one of the videos in the Boocamp, is picking your time frame to trade on. So I analyze on H4 because it's a nice long time frame, and we've got good 6 candles in a day to have a look at. H1, you got 24 candles. M15, etc., etc. It just goes down and down and down. And your outlook on the market changes depending on which of these buttons you press. So at the moment, you're bearish there, you're bearish there. You're bullish here because we just had a reversal alert. So we're probably going to come off of support here. So I want to be taking longs. Yeah. So depending on where you're looking at, how you're looking at the market, on what time scale, you're going to have a different outlook. This is a bad example because it's just tanks. It's obviously a short. But it's probably a long now, though. But the beauty of this is time is irrelevant. There is no such thing as time. I'm not interested in candlesticks. Whether I'm not looking at a 5-minute chart. I'm not looking at a 1-minute chart. I'm looking at the market. I'm looking at what is going on in the S&P with the algorithms right now. I know that if we get down to 44.70, I'm going to be a buyer. I know if we get up to 44.87, I'm going to be a seller. It could take a day to get there. It could take 5 seconds to get there. I don't know, and I don't care. I'm going to take a trade when we get there. So there is none of this candlestick pattern confusion, depending on which time frame you're on. You get it all the time in Telegram. Sell gold. Why sell gold? What time frame are you looking at? 5 minute. Well, I don't trade the 5 minutes, so I'm not going to be selling gold because on the hourly chart it's telling me to buy it. No, it's definitely a sell. This doesn't matter, does it? what you're looking at here is the market orders, and you know that there's a lot of people up there looking to short it. Where they're going, no idea. Do you want to be right, or do you want to wait for a candlestick that may never come? This gives you a totally different view of what's going on in the market, and that's why I like it. It just gives you that extra window into what's going on behind the scenes. But it all correlates. It all correlates with the candlesticks. Exactly the same. Just a different window. Accumulation. You can't trade this. It's just chop. But on the S&P, on this, you had a trade there. You had a trade there. If I'd have taken them. Data latency spike. Not seen that before. Got a delay. That's gone. I don't know what that is. I'll have to have a look. Yeah, so you can take trades in when we got these horrible ranges and accumulations where everybody gets chopped to pieces and you can't trade. We can do it. We can trade inside this thing because we know where these guys are sitting. Kind of what you're doing is you're looking at the M5 chart, aren't you? And you're trading M1 while analysing M5 kind of thing. Anywho, I will keep playing with this. I've been watching it this morning and obviously trading it, as you saw. Done 32 contracts today. So yeah, the more I'm watching it, the more I'm liking it as a tool for scalping. But obviously it's only relevant for futures, so no good if you're wanting to do FX with it. You can see the FX markets. You can see the pound and euro futures and the US futures, but obviously you are just watching the futures on a single currency, so you haven't got the cross currency there as a reference. So if you're watching something like wrong one. .6e, which is the euro. So this is the euro futures. Can I load data? No. Can't load data. So euro futures, you can watch this. So we're watching the euro. What's happening with the euro at the moment on the futures market. But obviously if you're trading euro US dollar, this is only 50% of the picture because you haven't got the US dollar part. So if the euro suddenly goes flying off to the upside and the US dollar goes flying off to the upside twice as fast, euro US dollar is actually going to come down while this goes up. So it has a limited use for the FX market. And you can trade all these. You can trade the euro futures, the pound futures, the US futures, but you're not going to find it as much use, I don't think. Gold would be very useful. I haven't got COMEX, I don't think. Oh, is it on 9? I can't remember which gold's on. That's crude. I've got the DAX. I haven't paid for Eurex either, so if we get you can trade the DAX as well on Eurex. I haven't got that, but I can't remember which one gold's on. I think gold is on COMEX. I haven't got it, but yeah, you can get gold futures. So obviously, if you want to use this for your gold trading to look for levels where potentially we may get big volumes coming in, you can use that as well for gold. A lot of people like trading gold. Right, so I'm going to call it a day there. I'll be in the Telegram group if you need anything. Be back tomorrow morning for the DAX session at 7:50. What day is it today? God, I'm losing track. I hate bank holidays. We have 2 bank holidays. It completely throws you. Yeah, so it's Thursday. So Powell, we have Powell speaking 4 o'clock, which is obviously happened. So not a lot has happened in the market while Powell's been speaking. Otherwise, we would have seen it. Big order just dumped there on the S&P. That looks like a load of longs just puked, basically. So later on today, we've got Bailey at 5:30, and then we've got Lagarde and Powell at 6 o'clock. So I've got Euro Swiss short on still at the moment. Keep your eyes on your Euro, because the every time Lagarde opens her mouth and says something about the interest rate rises happening in July, the market seems to go mental, although we've known about it for about a month. But it keeps happening. So keep your eyes peeled on Euro pairs if you've got any Euros on. Likely to get some volatility around 6 o'clock on that. And then obviously pound-wise, 5:30, Bailey might say something about that, and Powell at 6. So keep your eyes peeled on all of these from 5:30 onwards. We could get some good volatility across all the majors then. We've got retail sales tomorrow morning for the pound. Pre-market open. And then we've got all of the Euro PMIs tomorrow morning, so we might find that we have a very quiet session tomorrow morning at the DAX open, at Frankfurt open, because they'll be waiting for all of this to get out of the way before the market moves. So we'll probably have a very weak open, so I might try trading the news basically tomorrow and see if we can get some decent movement on the DAX. There's a lot of activity going on in the market at the moment. A lot of sellers starting to rush in across the DAX and all markets actually. FTSE's coming down as well. Just seeing if something's been announced. No. Could be to do with what Powell's talking about, if Powell's still talking, but anyway. So that's the news tomorrow. So just be aware of all of that. And then we've got Bailey again tomorrow afternoon, and Lagarde again tomorrow afternoon as well. So it's all PMIs basically and a couple of talking heads. But the main thing is Euro 8:30. I'm looking for a Euro drop tomorrow, regardless of what this comes out as. Even if they are inflated figures, it's not going to be good. So I think we should get some decent movement down on the Euro pairs tomorrow. And obviously I've got the Euros short at the minute, so I'm looking basically for a decent move down. We should be able to get next leg down on this, I think. Can't really see it here. Let's go out to a bigger chart so we can see what we're talking about. So looking for next leg down. And coming down towards those lows, hopefully, but we'll see. Obviously, the war is obviously going to play a part in that as well. And obviously, it depends what Lagarde says. If she comes out and says something which is massively bullish tomorrow, we may well get a big spike on it. So I will be exiting this if we break above these highs tomorrow, and just have to take a loss on it. So. All right, so have a good one, guys. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:50. If you need anything, come into the Telegram group, and I will be back then. Have a good afternoon.